All right, guys, as you can see in the title, today we are talking about 5 steps to attract customers to you, which is super important for us to build a successful business. By the way, my name is Shay Toya, and I've actually been in business since I was 21 years old. And I actually got introduced to entrepreneurship from a friend of mine. At the time, before I got introduced to entrepreneurship, I actually was bartending or cocktail waitressing actually at a club here in Las Vegas. So if I can do it, so can you, which is super important. And so I got introduced to entrepreneurship at the age of 21, and now I'm 29. So 8 years later, I've actually about 7 months ago got introduced to this concept called attraction marketing, which I honestly, guys, I fell in love with the concept. And before I got introduced to attraction marketing, I was in direct sales. And if you've been in direct sales before, you guys know that, we have to be focused on recruiting and getting sales. And the truth is, guys, I was struggling. Even with having the experience that I had, I was struggling. And so the reason why I got into attraction marketing was because my cousin that I love dearly had told me, Toya, we're super excited about what you got going on, but we don't want to hear about it. And so at the time I was super devastated, and I was like, okay, why don't you want to hear about it? I'm excited. You should be too. But for whatever reason, they didn't want to hear about it. And I actually started Googling ways on how to get online leads online, which was a true blessing of learning how to build a business, was because I found a video just like the one you guys are currently watching on how to build a business on using social media. And so I really truly fell in love with this concept called attraction marketing. And, attraction marketing is pretty much a marketing strategy that attracts clients and customers and reps that that possibly have the tendency of joining your business opportunity or, buying what you got to offer, which is super important. In attraction marketing, I really truly just fell in love with the concept, because with attraction marketing, what we're doing is we're helping other people, and we're sharing, pretty much our story. We're sharing to people why we got started. We're sharing value. We're sharing the tips. And so, a lot of times, a lot of people possibly like me, we like to help people. So for this reason, attraction marketing has really taught me on how to help people by providing value. And when people are interested, of course, they're going to buy your services. And so that's pretty much what attraction marketing is. And so when it comes to attraction marketing, the system, pretty much we're focused on building our own personal brand instead of the company we work for. So if you're with Mary Kay or Primerica or all these different companies out there, a lot of times the people, they're possibly focused on saying, hey, I'm a Mary Kay rep, or hey, I'm with Primerica, or hey, I'm with Herbalife, whatever company you're with. But at the end of the day, it's super important that we're branding ourselves. They say the average person that's in network marketing or direct sales stays with the company for about 2 to 3 years. So for this reason, it's super important that we're branding ourselves. That way we're not known as that person. I know we all know that person that's hops from this company and then that company and then this company and that company. And so for that reason, it's super, super, super important that we are focused on building an audience and focused on building ourselves. That way it doesn't matter what is it that we do or what company we're with. And if that company ever goes out of business, it really does not matter. And another thing, guys, is that people buy from people, not companies. So people aren't going to follow you because you're with Mary Kay, or because you're with Herbalife, or because you're with Primerica. At the end of the day, these companies are great. But at the end of the day, people are going to follow you because it's you. People are going to follow you because they see that you can help them get to the next stage of life, which at the end of the day, that's the most important, is that your audience sees you as that person that's going to help them get to where they want to go. And so a good marketing strategy when it comes to attraction marketing will be providing value to people and having them ask you for more information. And, and that's by answering and solving their problems of where is it that they want to go? And pretty much you're answering their questions with the content. And that's pretty much a great marketing strategy, is answering questions. Why not? And so step 1 of the 5 steps to attracting your ideal client or prospect or recruit is number 1 is we must determine who is it that we want to attract. Like, how are you ever supposed to expect to go anywhere if you don't know who you want to attract? How do you expect to get sales if you don't know who you're trying to attract? Like, it's super important that I know who is it that I'm trying to attract. It's also very important that we understand so many people don't understand why it's so important to have an audience or to understand who is it that we're trying to attract. Most people are looking for someone with the pulse. I know you've heard that before. Like, you're just trying to find anybody to join your team. I remember there was a time where I was sitting down with this person for an interview because I was in the financial service industry, and he sits and starts smoking marijuana. And I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, I know. And you know what? My husband actually owns a construction company, and I do his interviews. And the truth is, I would never hire somebody that smoked marijuana while I was sitting there right there interviewing him. Like, what? And so a lot of times when we're in direct sales, I was like, okay, whatever, because we're just trying to get a recruit. But as I said, I would never ever hire that person for my husband's business. Never. And so it's super important we look at our businesses, or our direct sales businesses, the same way as well. And if you truly want to figure out who you're meant to serve and increase your closing ratio, that's very important to increase your closing ratio. And so you want to make sure you choose a target audience of people who would most definitely purchase your products and join your business opportunity. So if you're with a company like Mary Kay, my target audience is probably not going to be men that like football, because they're most likely not going to like makeup or whatever it is that you're offering. So it's super important that we're focused on a target audience that's going to be interested in the product I offer. Like, yeah. A lot of people, they waste their time with people that are just not a good fit, or they're just looking at everybody as that one fit, and that's not the answer. So it's just super important that you sit down and be like, my target audience is this person right here. And there's like all types of different things that you could do online. If you want a form to kind of fill out over your persona, you've possibly heard that before. Per persona is pretty much your target audience, and it's just having a clear idea of who that is. So step number 2 is to understand your prospects' needs, desires, and then provide value and share your story, where you were, where are you right now, and how can you help? And that's honestly the only thing that people care about. That's all they care about, is how can you help them? So it's super important that we're providing value on how I can help you. And when you talk about things that people aren't interested, all you're doing is pushing them away. You want to talk to your customers' current thoughts. And if you're talking to your customers' current thoughts, they're going to see you as the leader. They're going to see you as the person like, oh, like, you understand where I'm coming from. They're going to want to follow you. So for this reason, it's super important that we just do it and just understand, like, what is it? And if you don't know, the issues that your customers are having, then you really truly need to sit down, do some research. There's websites like Answer the Public that will pretty much, what you could do is, if you put in migraines, and you can put all the different topics under migraines, what problems people are having around migraines. And so that's a great website that you could possibly use. That's helped me out a lot. And so when you join your customers' current thoughts, you're joining their conversations. And then step number 3 is that really truly decide what marketing channel you want to use. And I feel like this is a big issue a lot of us personally have. I've had it where we're trying to do Facebook, we're trying to do YouTube, we're trying to do Instagram. And YouTube is actually not a social media platform. It's great for Google because they are partnered. It's a search. But we're trying to focus on all these different platforms. And so what we really need to do is focus on one, decide what platform is it that we want to use. Don't get stuck. which one you should use, like, truly figure out, okay, where is my target audience? Is my target audience on Instagram? Is my target audience on Facebook? A lot of times your target audience are going to be people like you. So answer the question, like, where is it that you're hanging out at? Like, if you're hanging out on Facebook, why aren't you on Facebook? Why aren't you marketing your business on Facebook? That's where you need to be focused on. If we focus on being on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, then we're going to be feeling super overwhelmed, making sure that we're providing quality of work. And like, really, when are we ever going to get the work done? So if we're just a one-man guy or one-man team, it's super important that we focus on one until we're getting about 10 leads and we truly understand the platform. And so step number 4 is to build your target audience. Think of influencers who your target market would follow. So if you're in finance, if you're in a company like Primerica, a huge influencer within Primerica is Dave Ramsey. If you are with Mary Kay, I don't really know who's the big influencer within Mary Kay because I've never been part of Mary Kay, but you just figure out who is it that those people look up to within Mary Kay. And so that way you can kind of have an idea of what content that they're providing to their audience. And you can kind of have an idea, and maybe, you can follow those people that the influencers are following, because it might be a little bit easier of a reach to follow you or to join your team than people like Dave Ramsey. It's just, another way. And then also, guys, I can show you guys, and there's different ways you guys can do the follow method. So you guys can use Facebook, and you can also use like all these different websites when it comes to the follow method. And I'll just go ahead and share my screen real quick. All right, so you should see my screen, and we are going to go ahead and go to Facebook. And I'm going to go to, since I mentioned Dave Ramsey with somebody that's possibly in Primerica, I'm going to go to Dave Ramsey. And so something that I could possibly do is go over here and go to Dave Ramsey. And I can look at this, like, look at what Dave Ramsey's posting, like, and it's the audience it has. These are people that I possibly, if I'm with a company in financial services, these are possibly people that could possibly be my prospects. So what I would do is just click on here, right here, and I would, click on here and see if Alan has his follow button. And honestly, like, this could take a little while to do. So just finding someone with their follow button on. And so far, I don't see anybody. Yeah, and just because of this, it could possibly take a little while to do. But this could be a way for you to find somebody that's in your target market of way to network and prospect, because they're already interested in what you offer. Someone that's following Dave Ramsey, they believe in term life insurance. Okay, there you go. I found somebody that has their follow button on. And so, as I said, if you're selling for a company called like Primerica, this is awesome. I would, possibly take a look at Dave Ramsey's following and follow those people because they're already interested in a product like term life insurance. So it could possibly help you out. And this is just kind of things that you could possibly do. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. And so step number 5 is to start engaging. You'll increase your success with attraction marketing when you're interacting with people, when you're building that relationships with people. So at the end of the day, it's about relationships. I'm sure we've all heard that before. Like, people buy business or do business with people they like and trust. At the end of the day, like, if somebody does not like me or trust me, they're not going to do business with me. So it's super important that I understand that at the end of the day, people have to trust me and trust, that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And so that's step number 5. And then of course, once we do all of that, that's when we start selling to our audience. And a lot of times it's reversed. A lot of times we're trying to sell to our audience before people actually trust us. And it's like, and that's why people are kind of like, they push back, Because you're like, you're trying to sell me, but I don't even know who you are. So that's just, a little conflict that, a lot of times with when it comes to marketing and sales, you focus on marketing. That way you can actually, people actually know who you are. So when you actually sit down with someone, they're ready to buy. And that's my focus. Like, because I focus on attraction marketing, I'm not getting the same issues that I've had in the past, because people know who I am, and that's not the way I'm going to do my business. Is I don't want to get the same objections. I don't want to be told, oh, I don't have the money, or I have somebody that I'm currently working with. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't want to deal with those objections because I don't. And I would just love to know, like, what are some things that you guys currently do to grow your business? And you guys also, I do currently have a course that I'd love to share with you guys. It does cost $1. But it's just going to teach you on how to attract your ideal prospect. It is going to go into more details of how to do so. It's going to teach you how to get into an alignment of who is the person that you want to work with. Because at the end of the day, like, I've worked with those people where it's like, why am I working with this person? Why am I spending time with this person? And at the end of the day, it's a headache, and that's what it is. So if you guys have any questions or any comments, or if you are interested in checking out this course, I'm going to put it in the link below. And just comment below if anything that I could possibly help. Go ahead and subscribe to my page. I am going to be focused on building this page up. I am new. I'm going to get back into being consistent when it comes to YouTube. But I hope you guys have an amazing day. Talk to you guys later.